Squats and RDLs sit at the top of the chain when it comes to leg exercises that build mass and support the strength goals that many of us desire. But when it comes to bodyweight leg exercises, many discount them as being low value. Despite one of the toughest, most high value leg exercises being a bodyweight one, I am of course talking about the Nordic curl. But why are Nordics so special? It is a knee dominant exercise with all of the intensity of a hip hinge movement, meaning we can direct blood flow to the connective tissue in the knees, which is often our weakest link. So, quick tutorial on the Nordic curl, let's get into it. How you doing, Cali Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Essentially a bicep curl for our legs, as well as a fantastic movement for working the whole posterior chain, the Nordic curl places a huge demand on the hamstrings, but it often gets discounted because of its sheer intensity. Many simply just do not have the strength or frankly the joint integrity to do this with our full body weight, including myself, and that's where bands can be a real asset. Through using bands, we can decrease the difficulty and focus on quality controlled movement. And the setup is extremely simple. Most gyms don't really have a good setup for Nordics, so I personally like using the lat pull down. You get a soft place to put your knees as well as an ankle support. Just make sure that you have enough space to allow your knees to sit apart. We don't want our legs to be closed together for this. Loop a band around a part of the machine that doesn't move nor allows the band to move. If this is your first time doing Nordics, I would highly recommend that you use a heavy band. In fact, the heavier the band, the better, because it's really important that we build familiarity with this movement before we start to push ourselves. Anchor your ankles around the knee pads and then loop the band around your chest and under your armpits. From here, slowly lean forwards until your body is almost parallel with the ground, loading the hamstrings as we stretch them out. Then bring yourself slowly back to that starting position. Be sure to keep the glutes squeezed so that we don't pike at the hips. We want that straight body line, core tight. It's also important, and I cannot stress this enough, that you use a band that isn't frayed and that you trust. We don't want the band snapping mid-rep because that can have severe repercussions. So if you want to get yourself a really high quality band, then just check out the link down below. I recommend that when you start out, you go for higher volumes at a lower intensity, staying in the 8 to 12 rep range, for example, because we really want to prep the connective tissue as well before we start loading up on the intensity. As we get stronger, we can progress by either slowing the reps down or switching to a lighter band that provides less support. Crowd, bodyweight leg training does not need to be boring, and we can extract serious strength gains from an exercise as simple and yet as intense as the Nordics, even if we do need to scale it back. But if you want to see how you can build muscle through calisthenics-based training, then check out this video right here.